Have you noticed your Maytag top-load washer making a noise like a jet getting ready to take off? I'm Rory from AppliancePartsPros.com, and today we're going to replace the part doing its best turbine engine imitation, the gear case. With over 2 million products in stock and the know-how to help you do it yourself, we are AppliancePartsPros.com. Let's start by gathering the tools we'll need for this repair. You'll want a ratchet and socket set with a long extension, a couple of flat blade screwdrivers or pry bars, a Phillips screwdriver, torque security bits with a bit driver, some thread penetrant like WD-40 or PB blaster, a hammer, and a block of wood. And as always, safety first. Unplug the washer or shut off the breaker before you start working on it. While you're at it, go ahead and turn off the water to the unit and disconnect the water hoses. Now, let's talk about diagnosis. The testing for this is pretty simple. Spin the tub by hand. Usually a bad gear case will make a rumbling or roaring noise even at low speeds when something is wrong, or it'll be much harder to spin than you're used to. Either way, it means the same thing. We're taking out the gear case. Let's get into the repair. You can do this job with the top still on the washer since we're not removing the tubs. We've removed the top here so you can get a better view of what's going on. If you decide to take yours off, you'll need those torque security bits and the bit driver we mentioned earlier. If you'd rather not, or you don't have any, don't worry about it. Start by pulling up on the agitator cap to remove it. Use a flat blade screwdriver to depress the two tabs on the bottom section of the fabric softener dispenser. Lift the dispenser bottom up and out, then remove the 5/16 inch bolt and washer from the cam assembly. And now remove the agitator auger. Use a Phillips screwdriver to remove the two screws holding the agitator coupler. With a flat blade screwdriver, pry the tabs loose and remove the coupler. Next, remove the 7/16 inch bolt from the agitator plate and lift the plate out. And finally, we can get to the drive hub and retaining clip. Then use a flat blade screwdriver to pry the retaining clip out. Remove the 6 Phillips screws securing the drive hub to the basket. Run a screwdriver through the braces on the drive hub and work it back and forth while prying upward till it comes loose. If it doesn't want to cooperate, you may end up breaking it out like we had to here. That happens sometimes, and you can pick up those parts from us too, so no worries. Once it's out, take a look at the splines on the hub and the gear case shaft for damage or excessive wear. If you got the hub out in one piece, you can reuse it. But if those splines are wearing hard, then I'd suggest replacing it and the retaining clip as well. Now that we've got the upper parts out, we'll tackle the lower. But before we do that, spray some of that thread penetrator we mentioned on the top of the gear case where the shaft is coming through the tub. You'll thank yourself later. Go ahead and lay the washer on its front panel. Remove the two 5/16 bolts holding the pulley cover on and take it out. Put one of your screwdrivers between the belt and a pulley and roll the pulley while angling the screwdriver so that the belt begins coming off. Watch your fingers here. I've caught mine between the pulley and belt a few times. Now, hold the drive pulley on the gear case with one hand and use your socket and ratchet to take off the 1/2-inch bolt holding it. You'll need to break the bolt loose if you're doing this with standard hand tools instead of something like an electric impact driver. A sharp jerk will usually break it loose. Work the gear case pulley back and forth until it comes all the way off. Remove the two screws securing the shift actuator and take it off, and then disconnect its harness. We can disconnect the motor capacitor, then remove it with a twist. Rotate the clutch ring to release the 4 tabs holding it, then you should be able to slide off the clutch, actuator ring, and spring. Look at all the teeth and splines on the pulley and the clutch. If any are worn or stripped, you'll be replacing the whole thing since it comes as a kit. Now we can remove the two 1/2-inch bolts holding the motor on and take it out. Next, we've got the drain pump. Take out the 3 5/16 bolts holding it to the outer tub and swing it out. Now you can disconnect the harness and the drain hose if you need to. And finally, we're at the gear case. This has 4 10mm bolts holding it to the tub, so we'll take those out, and ideally, once those are removed, we should be able to use a screwdriver between the gear case and the tub to get it out. But that isn't always the case. If yours is being stubborn, go ahead and flip the washer back up on the feet, And this is where the hammer and a block of wood comes in. I suggest finding a socket from your set that will fit over the end of the transmission shaft in the tub. If you don't have a longer 2x4 like ours, you can put that long extension in the socket and set the block of wood on that. The wood is mainly just our strike face for the hammer. Now, it is time for what is known as percussive maintenance, or, as my dad used to say, brute force and ignorance. If you've ever had a repair that absolutely refused to come apart until the hammer got involved, let us know in the comments. Every technician has at least one of those stories. Hit the wood with the hammer and use that to drive the gear case down until it is free of the splines in the tub. You'll know when it is because the gear case will drop. Once that's out, you can flip the washer back on the front panel and move the old gear case out of the way. And here's the gear case. If you've already got one, great. If not, you can pick it up at AppliancePartsPros.com. Before we try installing a new gear case, check the shaft of the old one and look for the tub seal. If it isn't there, look at the outer tub. We're going to want to be sure that the seal didn't get left behind because the new gear case comes with one already installed. This happens all the time and gets people thinking their new part doesn't fit or the shaft is too short. Now, we can align the new gear case shaft with the hole in the outer tub and slide it into place. You may need to angle the shaft for the inner basket or have someone lift up on the inner basket to get everything where it needs to go. Reinstall your 4 screws and use them to pull the gear case securely to the outer tub. Now we can put the drain pump, motor, clutch, capacitor, and pulley back on. Pretty simple, just the reverse of taking them off. Loop the belt behind the gear case pulley and on the motor pulley, then hold the belt on the gear case pulley as you roll it until the belt is all the way on. Again, watch your fingers. Reinstall the pulley cover and stand the machine up. Rock the inner basket side to side while pressing down to get it fully seated on the tub seal around the gear shaft. Slide the drive hub over the shaft and press it down firmly until it's as close to flush as possible. You may have to work the hub back and forth to get it down onto the splines enough, and keep an eye on those screw holes when putting it on the splines to make sure they all line up. Reinstall the 6 Phillips screws and use them to pull the hub the rest of the way down. Install the retaining clip and make sure it's fully seated. Reinstall the agitator plate and tighten the bolt snugly. Put the coupler back in, making sure the tabs snap into place, then reinstall your 2 screws. Next goes the agitator auger, followed by the cam assembly and the 5/16 bolt. Snap the dispenser bottom back into place and reinstall the agitator cap. And that's it. You're ready to plug it back in and take it for a spin. If the gear case was the problem with your Maytag top-load washer, write down your model number and head over to AppliancePartsPros.com for the correct replacement parts. Our orders usually arrive within just a couple of days, so you shouldn't get too far behind on that never-ending pile of laundry. Once your part shows up, be sure to check out our installation guides if you need a hand along the way. Thanks for sticking with us, and we hope this makes your repair journey just a little easier. If it did, be sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment below. Happy repairing!